So The Art of Survival, man, ninth studio album for Bush coming out on October 7th, pardon me. Do you, Gavin, do you still get that feeling, or if you want, those butterflies when you're about to drop a new album and share it with the fans?
Yes.
That's what I thought.
Theory. It's an incredible privilege, it's an honor to still have a career that you can make 9 records, and 11 in my case, because I Institute and my solo record. So I think of it like as a songwriter, 11 times I got to make a record, and I'm really proud of it. It's a really vital, strong record. The guys are pretty much on fire. I'm on tour with them now. They're incredible. I try and write well and work with good people, and that's the art of survival.
Yeah. And The Art of Survival is a pretty powerful image and a pretty powerful statement. What does that title of this new album mean to you guys?
It's really, what everyone's gone through the last few years. It's regular life stuff that we've all been through. And the pandemic, it's been devastating for people.
Yeah.
And so many affected that. When I look out in the crowd and I see like 20,000 people, excuse me, that's a really good chew. I apologize. I'm English. I normally wouldn't put something in my mouth and then speak, except my foot, of course. It's just everyone's been through so much. When I look out in the crowd, I see a collection of people, people talk about how rock's in a bad place, but I see a lot of people, and I've given my life to just trying to make interesting rock music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just a privilege every time it comes around, because you get to try and say what you mean and mean what you say again. And it's just it's a beautiful life,
Yeah. I don't want to make, us seem, I've been doing this for a while. You guys have been doing this for a while. I don't want us to seem old or anything, but how much has the game changed throughout the years? And do you feel like you need to adapt to anything, or quite the opposite? You just stick to your guns and keep rocking out?
Well, I mean, we got to I think we're reasonably experimental in the confines of rock or whatever. There's no confines really, but you know what I mean, in terms of having a bit of a verse and a chorus. Musically, it's pretty advanced and aggressive, and then I go and sing in a counterpoint melodic way that suits it. You know what I mean? Or,
yeah.
So I think we're always challenging ourselves to be fresh and interesting. I think that the band sounds pretty modern, and I'm proud of that. So I think it's probably easier to put out kind of lackluster records than it is to kind of put records out with real vitality and bite and intention.
Yeah.
And we just love what we do individually and collectively, and I think it comes across in the record.
Yeah. More Than Machines has been getting great reaction up here in Quebec on Boulevard 102.1. Talk to me about the message, the idea behind this hard rockin' song, man.
Well, it's like my perfect haiku song, the best haiku I ever did, because it really is, predominantly, I wanted to get that whole political humanitarian issue off the table. I mean, or rather talk about it, and reference this thing about how women's rights here in America have been bizarrely set back decades, if not, hundreds of years, 200 years. And in a world where everything does seem to be, everyone has the best intention, minorities are more listened to than ever, brutality is more recorded than ever. You're Canadian, everyone's good at Canada. It's a nation of great people, and everyone wants to do more or less the best thing. So I'm really proud to be able to put that in the song, because I think that if you can reference things, hot topics of the day, it makes people talk about them more, and think about it and consider their position. And So, you know, I never try and like lead the way or point or like, you know what I mean? Hardly a preacher, you know, I'm just trying to get it right myself day to day.
Yeah.
So, but it's that thing's up in my brain, you know, same with the climate, same with the way that we're just not doing enough, you know. It's a boring topic because no one seems to kind of respond to it too much. And I think about it a bit, but it's in there, the earth dies and some money thing, you know, and, so, you know, it's jam-packed, that song. It is, as I say, my best haiku yet.
How about musically for this album that's going to drop on October 7th? For the fans waiting, is it musically in the More Than Machines direction? How's this album going to sound musically?
I think October 7th.
October, yeah.
Oh, yeah. More Than Machines is like a really good indication of what the record's like. You know, it's dark and wide, and it's like you know, it's like an ocean, so it's cool.
Yeah. I have to, before I let you go, a couple more questions. One, I'd like to touch back. I know you were in the Woodstock 99 documentary on Netflix. Did you watch it? And the only question I have on that subject is just looking back to 99, looking back to the Bush show at Woodstock 99. How does that set up in the whole Bush career, in the memory you have of that show back then?
Well, my memory of the show, you know, as it's pointed out in the documentary, is I kind of got it wrong. You know, I'm a bit of an idealist, and I kept on referencing 69 in my brain and thinking how many times I'd seen that between Joplin and Hendrix and Neil Young, I suppose, was Neil Young. It just blew me away. So I was not really part of that macho, testosterone, steroid fueled, angry crowd. You know, I was sandwiched between Korn and Limp Bizkit.
Yeah,
coming out singing of like the power of connectivity and not to judge people. You know, black, white, male, female. Just it's. So I was on the fluid game a long ahead of the time, but I didn't get the memo that day. I lost the memo that day.
But you guys come off really well in that documentary, by the way. Last off, before I let you go, I know you got a bunch of interviews to do today. You guys are present, you know, you're on tour right now. Any chance we get to see you guys up in Canada, up in Quebec in the coming months, maybe in 2023?
Joe Beef. Yeah.
Yeah, Joe Beef.
Joe Beef. Yeah, Joe Beef. Yeah, all the chance in the world. I'm going to come up there just for that.
Yeah.
It's the best restaurant. 100%. Weirdly, on this tour we're doing now, they didn't do Canada. So I spoke to actually a promoter from Live Nation about it, my guy at Live Nation, and he's Canadian. So he said, yeah, we got to get it up to Canada. So we'll do a nice run of Canada pretty soon. Right?
Awesome. Hey, thanks for your time, Gavin. The album comes out, The Art of Survival, October 7th. Thank you so much for this. And we can't wait to have you guys up in Canada. And until then, well, More Than Machines will be spinning, and the reaction is just great, man.
All right. Thank you. Thanks, brother.
Take care.
Bye.